Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in previous video we have learned how we can draw gladiolus flower and how we can compose all these flowers. So you can refer to my previous video. The link is in the description section. And I have created my own composition for today's video. And today we are going to paint gladiolus flower. And I'm using this size 6 round brush. This is not too big, not too small. I think it's perfect for small petals like we have for today's painting. And I'm going to show you one flower with full detail, like what I'm doing and everything, and rest you can follow the same thing for other flowers as well. So for the petals I'm using wet on wet technique, but what kind of wetness you need into your petals? So you need a damp sheet, not too wet, not too dry. So make sure your petals are not too wet, not too dry, and try to do it one by one, like one petal at a time. I'm going to do first 3 petals like front petals, because in the gladiolus if you see you have 3 petals at front side and 3 petals at the back. So I'm doing first 3 petals which is on the front side. And when you do all the petals simultaneously, like wetting all the sheets simultaneously, you will end up having dry sheet for the first petal like this one. So I have wetted all my 3 petals, but as you can see the first petal is almost dried. That is why I like to do one petal at one time. So let's wet this particular one again. So apply a layer of water. The petal should not be too wet, not too dry. And then I'm using pink and purple color. So first I'm applying purple color at half of the area, the upper area of the petals, and only throughout the edges. I'm not filling this color throughout my petals, that too only half area. And then when my sheet is still wet, I'm applying a little bit of pink color above to the purple, just to get a little bit of pink and purple contrast. Now with the help of clean water, just try to blend all the colors throughout the petal. You can also add a line kind of structure when your sheet is about to dry, and those things you can do slowly and gradually, because these things need a little bit patience, and you can do these things slowly, and then you can just repeat the same thing for all the 3 petals which is at the front. So what I'm doing, I'm applying a layer of water. If you feel your sheet is too watery, you can wait until it gets little dry, or you can use dry brush technique and grab some water from that particular area. Then apply purple color and pink color around the edges, only half part of the petals, and then with the help of clean water just blend the color throughout the petals. You can use whatever color combination you like you can use orange and red, or maybe yellow and red, whatever color you like. Repeat the same thing for all the 3 petals at the front, and I'm going to repeat the same thing what we are doing at the front petal. We are going to repeat the same thing for the back petals as well, only with the one difference which I'm going to show you later on. But first let's finish the first 3 petals. I'm showing all these things slowly and in detail so that you can learn what I'm doing, and then you can repeat the same thing throughout your flowers. You can choose a number of flowers, you can choose only one flower, totally up to you, totally depend on your composition. And I highly insist you to refer to my previous video or any video which you like to draw these flowers, because composing this flower is also important while painting these flowers. And we are not using any reference point, so we are doing it based on our liking. So you can do little modification in the color combination and those things, but you can do something like this as well, like I'm doing. So right now we are done with front 3 petals. Now let's start with the back petals. So for the back petal, I'm again repeating the same thing. I'm applying water just to wet in that particular area, not too wet, not too dry, and then apply purple color around the edges and pink color above to the purple, and then blend the area with the help of clean water. I have repeated this so many times, and I think now you have understood what we need to do while doing these things. So just repeat the same thing for all the petals that we have. And the additional thing what I'm doing for the back petals is I'm also highlighting a little bit of purple shade at the inner corner, which I have not done for the front petal. I'm only doing these things for the back petals. So let's add purple color in the inner corner of the petals and then blend it with the help of clean water just to avoid any hard edges. So that is the only difference in the front and the back petal that I am doing. I am applying a little bit more shade of purple into the inner corner for the back petals, and let's repeat all these things quickly. Now we are ready with our first flower. We need to do little bit of detailing at the center part of the flower, which we are going to do later. Now let me show you something which is important. Now when your sheet is about to dry or when your sheet is dried, I prefer a little bit wet sheet, like when sheet is about to dry. You can draw these linings with the help of very light shade of purple. So this is something you can do. If you find very hard line, then you can just blend the area with the help of clean water. That's all we needed for the flower petals. We are going to do center part of the flower later. Now let me show you one more thing. What if the petals are overlapped with each other? Like in this particular flower, the second one, I can see one petal actually behind the first flower. So my flowers are not fully visible, like this particular one. So this is half hidden from the front flower. So what I'm doing, I'm repeating the same thing, but the above area is actually overlapped with the other petal. So I'm leaving that particular area, assuming we have some color into that particular area, and I'm applying purple color only few part of the area towards left and right. So do not fill all the edges, because assuming that part is not visible, and then repeat the same thing what we did for the first flower. So take all your time to do these things. Do not use very dark pigments. Try to use little lighter color, especially when you're drawing these lines, because these things are important. The color shades are important. How much water you need into your sheet is important. How much water you need into your colors are important. So these things are very important while you're doing these kind of flowers. Now this particular one is also almost hidden with the first flower, and this is the back petal. So what I'm doing, I'm applying purple shade at the inner corner like we did for the first flower. The only difference is most of the petals are hidden, and likewise you can create all the flowers throughout your composition. So I'm not going to show you all the flowers in today's video, because we are repeating the same thing. So let's skip that. And now I'm ready with all the flowers. I have total 4 flowers, 2 half bloomed flower bird and many flower birds. So let's do some green elements in our painting. So I have 2 flower birds having a few area of flowers visible, like these are half bloomed flower, so we can see the flower area as well as sepals and all those things. So I'm creating the extended stem and sepal area for the flower, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing to create flower buds as well, having some petals into it. Because the most of the area is filled with the flower, I'm creating the stems only around the upper portion and the lower portion, and I'm also creating few flower buds like this one. This is not bloomed yet, fully closed with the green element, and you can fill the upper portion like these kind of structure. For the flower buds, which is like this, wherein we can see the petals, you can apply the same technique, or else you can just simply create few structure with the purple and then highlight few area with the pink color and create the main stem wherever needed. If the area is filled with the flowers, you don't have to create stems for those area. You can also add 1 or 2 leaves here and there, so I'm adding 2 smaller leaf, but these things are absolutely up to you guys, like whether you want it or not. I think we should add at least 1 or 2 leaves, so I'm adding these things. Leaves are from lily family, so it's quite easy to draw and paint. Just make sure you have some leaves which is hidden through the flowers. Like this particular leaf is almost hidden through the flower, so we can see only few area of the leaves. So I think we are done. Now let's create the middle section. So for the middle section, what I'm doing, I'm adding a little hint of yellow color around all the flowers, not too much but a little hint of yellow, and then with the help of tip of my brush, I'm creating fine stamen using green color. These are very fine stamen at the center of the flower, and then at the tip of the stamen you can add small dots of yellow, and we are done. So hope this video is helpful for you guys. You can refer to my previous video for Gladiolus drawing as well, and let me know if you guys have any feedback for me. Thank you so much for all your love and support, and thank you so much for watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.